Pacific Prime is the world's largest distributor of private medical insurance, and in fact we're based in Hong Kong. We have offices around the world, but our headquarters is here. As such, our level of understanding and expertise on this particular market is better than anywhere in the world. One particular question that comes up again and again is the discussion about private healthcare facilities in Hong Kong versus public healthcare facilities in Hong Kong. People are not often sure whether they should buy a health insurance plan or whether the local public healthcare facilities are good enough. The general answer I give to that question is as follows. First of all, it's important to understand, if you are a Hong Kong ID card holder, then you are entitled to use the public healthcare system. That doesn't mean you need to be a permanent resident, so in other words, you've fulfilled the 7 years to be a permanent resident in Hong Kong. You could have only been here a day, but if you have a Hong Kong ID card, you are entitled to use the government healthcare system. What can you expect from the government healthcare system? Well, on a global standard, it's actually pretty good. But what I would say about it is that it's extremely good at triage. In other words, initial first response is very good. So if you're in a car accident, possibly the first thing to do is to be taken to a government hospital where the initial response is going to be very good. But as with most government healthcare systems around the world, it starts to break down after that initial point in terms of the level of service and care and options you can choose. So for example, if you were in a car accident and you were initially taken for first response to a government hospital, that would be perfectly normal and probably a very good experience. But thereafter, perhaps the reconstruction of your ACL in your knee, that may take some time to be done under the government system, and the investigative work that they do prior to that in determining exactly what's wrong may take some time. Whereas through the private healthcare system, you can choose which hospital, you can choose which surgeon, you possibly get access to more advanced technology, which is actually what happened to me personally in my own circumstances when I had my ACL rebuilt. So the disadvantages and advantages of the public system is actually, obviously it's very cheap, the initial response is very good, but the likely downfall is going to be the long-term diagnostic investigation and the options stroke treatment that's given to you around the condition in the longer term. It's a very long answer to a question which is actually a very big question. But if you want to know more about that or are looking for more information about health insurance in Hong Kong, why not come and talk to us?